Okay, so let's begin, inshallah. Okay, so fiqh of fasting. So who's attended a fiqh of fasting session before? Anyone? Okay. Okay, so inshallah, so hopefully it'll be a few new things for everyone. And a lot of this, most of the stuff we'll know anyway. You know, we've been fasting for a long time. So a lot of it will be just, just a refresher on the fiqh of fasting. So today, I'm not going to discuss the virtues of fasting, the rewards of fasting, the spirituality of fasting. That's not the intent of today. Maybe another session will do that, inshallah. Today, literally just, we're going to be thinking like lawyers and we're going to be thinking like jurists, purely based on law and fiqh. So what we're going to do, master the laws, inshallah. So those of you guys that attend our fiqh sessions, can't hear or see anything. The Zoom guys. What's this? The Zoom guys, can you see and hear? Okay, all good. Okay, so sorry about the delay. So like I said, we do this every week and we've never had any issues. Just today, for some reason, we happen to have issues. But inshallah, all from Allah, for the best, inshallah. What's wrong with this now? Switch my screen.
You need to share your screen. It says you're viewing your screen.
Yeah. Do you want to keep this with it? Just check it so I can just focus on.
It was on it just now. No, you had your video.
Maybe zoom out, full screen out.
Maybe try tab multi. Yeah. I think this is it, though, isn't it? I think it's your.
The online guys can see it.
Yeah, no, can you see it?
Yeah.
You asked them.
Yeah, online guys, they can see this. Yeah, they said they can hear and see.
Do they see a presentation? Is it presentation?
Can you see my presentation? Online guys? Yeah, they're saying yes. You can't see on the laptop.
Why didn't you leave and join? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's start though. We need to get started. If your hand thingies are there, I mean, Hikman's doing that. Okay, let's start. And do you have extra of the sheets? Can you just pass me them? Can you send these out to everyone? Okay, let's begin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, so the fiqh of fasting. So unfortunately, brothers, you can't see the slides at the moment. And here's some more sheets, yeah? Okay, so first we're going to discuss the definition of fasting, and then we're going to discuss some principles related to fasting. And we're going to discuss what breaks the fast, the kafara, fidya, and so on, all the things that you need to know about fasting, inshallah. So let's begin. So first, and the sisters can see the slides, yeah? Okay, so firstly, the definition of fasting. So what does fasting actually mean? So if I was to define fasting, who can tell me a basic definition of fasting? So this is a classroom environment, yeah? So we're going to be a lot of Q&As, a lot of hands, and a lot of speaking out. Yeah?
So fasting is where you don't eat or drink anything. Well, a period of time.
A period of time. Okay, so good. So the adults that have been attending the Fiqh course, remember when it comes to law, we need to be very, very specific. So when I say period of time, am I fasting right now?
No.
I'm not eating or drinking anything, and it's been a period of time. So how do you define it further? Everyone, shout out the answers.
Bring sexual relationship from dawn to sunset.
Good, very comprehensive, perfect. So from dawn till sunset, abstain from food, drink, and intimacy from dawn till sunset. Good, mashallah. Okay. So the word fasting literally means to abstain. That's all fasting is. In the Arabic language, the word fasting is sawm, and that literally means to abstain. But from a Sharia perspective, fasting literally means to abstain from these three things from dawn till sunset. So dawn is, in other words, what is dawn? What starts when dawn starts? Yeah, Fajr. Yeah, so Fajr Salah. So as soon as Fajr Salah starts, the time of Fajr Salah, we can no longer eat or drink or fulfill our desires in terms of intimacy until sunset. Sunset is which Salah?
Agreed.
Maghrib Salah. Okay. Now, what if someone doesn't eat or drink just because they're busy playing, I don't know, Minecraft all day? So they've been playing Minecraft since dawn till Maghrib, and they just didn't have the time to eat. Would they be considered fasting? No. So that's why the intention has to be there. The intention to fast has to be there, which is key. Okay, so that's the basic stuff. And moving on to who has to fast. Okay, any questions about the definition of fasting? Simple? Okay, just leave them on the other side so if anyone comes. Just leave them on the other side. Actually, give me one, please. Nice to see you, Mohis. Okay. Nothing working? Zulfa, you know the big laptop, the i7 one?
Yeah.
Can you bring that? I think that's just a terrible laptop.
Yeah, it is. It's very slow. Yeah.
And if you have the charger for it as well. Okay, so who has to fast? At least the sister's gonna see. Normally the sister sides are always, that's the oppressed side where they don't get anything. So nice to switch around for a change. Okay, so who has to fast? So what's the age where a person has to fast?
Age of maturity.
Age of maturity, good. So basically the age of puberty. So once a child reaches the age of puberty, in Islam, they're considered an adult. And that's when they must start fasting. Even if they're going to get thirsty, even if they're going to find it hard, once they reach that age, they are considered adults. And at that age, they must fast. So it's obligatory on every adult, male or female, who's physically and mentally okay, basically, so they have the health and the mental health as well. And they are not a traveler. So a traveler, they do not have to fast. I'm going to come back to all of these things, inshallah. I should have Zoom installed there. Okay, so a child who hasn't reached the age of puberty, they don't have to fast. And if someone has, due to mental reasons, or they're not stable or so on, so they don't have to fast either. Or if someone has an illness, such an illness that due to the illness, they're not able to fast. So they don't have to fast either. So either will make them severely, and it's been advised by a doctor, that the doctor has told them that if they fast, it will make them more ill, or so on and so on. So they don't have to fast either. Any questions about this so far? Simple stuff? Any questions? No questions. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, now when it comes to the intention of fasting, so we said it's to abstain from three things, but with the intention of fasting. So of course it's necessary to make intention. So if you don't make an intent to fast, your fast is not valid. So now the question is, how do you make this intention? And this is what I see, like the elder generation, they make a, there's a few like bizarre things I hear all the time. So from the elder generation, how do you make the intention of fasting? Anyone? You guys are not elder generation yet. You look it, but how do you make the intention of fasting?
In your heart.
Okay. Any other answers?
In your heart.
In your heart. Okay. Any other answers? Do I need to say anything?
No.
Yes, there is a dua, Mufti.
Okay, there is a recommended dua, but here we're dealing.
وبصوم غد نويت من شهر رمضان.
Okay, good. There is a dua, but must I say? That's the question: is must I say something? Must I say this dua for my fast to be valid?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, no. So intention, good. So the sister said it's in the heart. Yes. So for intention to be valid, we do not physically need to say anything. So I do not need to say I am fasting tomorrow. I do not need to say any duas or anything like that. So intention is in the heart. Intention is literally just knowing what you're doing. So so the night before, if I know I'm going to be fasting tomorrow, that's my intention. Yeah.
I've heard people say that you can make the intention for the whole month. I do. We do it daily. I normally do it daily, but can you make the intention for the whole month?
Yes. So intention. So remember, just intention is just knowing what I'm going to be doing. So if you intend to be fasting the whole month, that's your intention.
Yeah. But do you need to make it daily? That same intention.
So intention is just knowing what you're going to be doing. So let's say if it's fasting tomorrow, by tonight I'm going to know I'm fasting. That's my intention, isn't it? So every night I'm going to know I'm fasting the next day. So there's nothing like actively I need to do. The intention is just in the heart. So me knowing that I'm fasting the next day is my intention. Does that make sense? Yeah. So there's nothing extra that needs to be done. So if someone just by accident happens to not eat or drink because they've been gaming all day from dawn till sunset, but their intention, they didn't intend to fast for the sake of Allah, then that does not count as a fast. And like I mentioned, just intention is something which is automatic, which is just knowing that you're fasting the next day is enough of an intention. And online, guys, if you have any questions as well, feel free to ask, inshallah. Okay. So now this is quite important. And someone asked me a question about fasting yesterday, and what they needed to know for their answer was this. Okay, so the time for intention starts. So there is a cutoff point where you need to intend to fast. So this is when you can make an intention. The time for intention starts from Maghrib of the night before. So imagine, let's say tomorrow was fasting. So soon as Maghrib has started, I can intend to fast the next day. Yeah, so my intention is valid. So intention starts from Maghrib of the night before and lasts till Dahwatul Kubra, midday of the following day. So I have until midday of the actual day of fasting to make an intention for fast. Yeah. So let's say tomorrow, let's say I was a bit, actually no, I'm not going to give you a scenario. So let's say tomorrow 8 a.m. I didn't actually want to fast, but I thought to myself, you know what? It's 8 a.m. I haven't eaten or drank anything. I feel like fasting today. Can I still fast the remainder of the day?
Yeah.
Yes, because I've intended to fast before midday. Does that make sense with everyone? And this may seem like an irrelevant ruling, but it's actually quite important. And a person asked me a very important scenario, and the answer to his question was this. Okay, so let's just quickly look at exactly what midday is. So Ahmed wants to fast on Tuesday. When can he make his intention? So you got Maghrib Isha the night before, then you got Fajr, and then you got Dahwatul Kubra. So you need to make it by Dahwatul Kubra, which is midday. So how do you calculate midday? The way you calculate midday is, let's say the day starts at Fajr. Let's say, example, 4 a.m. Yeah. And when does the day end, everyone? Maghrib. Yeah. So exactly the halfway point between that. Yeah. So in our example scenario here, we've got Fajr starts at 4 a.m. and Maghrib is at 9 p.m. So now exactly midday. So this is a 17-hour fast. Yeah. 17-hour fast. So 8.5 hours, after 8.5 hours would be midday. So here, which is at Dahwatul Kubra is at 12:30. Dahwatul Kubra, our midday point is at 12:30. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. So as long as you, so in our example here, where Fajr starts at 4 a.m., Maghrib is at 9 p.m., exact middle point is at 12:30. So you can intend to fast before 12:30, and your fast will be valid. Assuming that you haven't eaten or drank anything, obviously. If you've eaten or drank anything, then your fast will not be valid. Why is this an important masala? Oh, let me rephrase that. When can this ruling be relevant to us? Give me a scenario where knowing this ruling would come into use.
If you haven't woken up before.
But let's say you went to sleep knowing you're going to fast the next day. So you made your intention, isn't it? And let's say you fell asleep all the way until 8 a.m. Yeah. So you've woken up, you've already got your intention from the night before. So why is this relevant, this masala? Sorry, sister's going to say something? Oh, talking about the Ramadan fast, yeah? Come on, any brains, any sharp brains. We're thinking like jurists here, yeah? Like lawyers.
Is it more relevant for women?
And it says
Either.
not feeling well in the morning,
Yeah, the God says this, not feeling well in the morning.
and then you don't know if you'll be able to then that morning.
Good, mashallah, that's one scenario. That's a perfectly good scenario. Let's say I'm ill the night before. Yeah. So now, instead of intending to fast and then breaking it, and I think, you know what, I'm going to wait till I see how I feel in the morning. And let's say, let's say I've gone till 12:30, for example, in this scenario. Let's say how I'm feeling at 11 o'clock. If I've got strength and I'm up for it, I'm going to intend to fast. That's one scenario. Yeah. Another scenario is, okay, so this is one scenario when you're unwell and you want to see in the morning. That's fine. Another scenario could be, sometimes what happens is, I don't know why, but everyone tends to get dentist appointments in Ramadan for some reason. Yeah. All the time. There's no other month in the year. Just Ramadan is like the month of dentist appointments. Yeah. So let's say you're going to get a filling or something. So you're not going to eat anything. But what can happen when you have a dentist appointment? Something can accidentally pass through your throat, isn't it? Yeah. So someone asked me, okay, I have a dentist appointment in the morning in Ramadan. So what should I do? And he said he really needs it urgent. He's been waiting for an appointment for a very long time, and it's be extremely inconvenient to move it around, and there's no appointments before Ramadan. What should he do? Okay, so now if his appointment's in the morning, what can you tell him to do? He can still go. Yeah. Yes, good. So you can go to the appointment and make intention to fast after. If something accidentally goes down, then that's why you can just do qada of it afterwards. But then if nothing goes down his throat, then he can just make a fresh intention to fast that day. Yeah, that's something that's doable as well. Okay, so we've discussed the intention of fasting. Sorry, not the intention. We've discussed the definition of fasting: to abstain from food, drink, intimacy from dawn till sunset. And we've also discussed intention. So intention is necessary to fast. So without intention, the fast does not matter. And the place of intention is the heart. Literally just knowing that you're going to fast the next day is intention. And the intention has been made before Dahwatul Kubra, which is translated as midday, which is midpoint from dawn till Maghrib, the halfway mark. Okay, so we covered these two things so far. Yeah.
What if you're driving a lot on the road and stuff like that, like miles?
Okay, so that's a traveler. Yeah, so that's to do with a traveler, and we're going to come to that. Yeah, we'll discuss the rulings related to a traveler. Any other questions about anything that we covered so far? Everyone grasp the concepts? MashaAllah. Okay, very easy.
I have one question, Mufti Sahab.
Yep.
Isn't it necessary the intention to be made before Fajr, or like aren't we supposed to make the intention like before Fajr, or like we have time till 11, or like you said midday, half day?
Yeah.
Can
So
we have time till midday, or like
yeah, so for Ramadan fasts, you can make intention all the way up till midday. So you have the night before, and you also have the morning all the way up till midday to make an intention to fast.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. And even some of the travelers can use this as well. Sometimes you're not sure, let's say you're traveling in the morning, you're not sure whether you because obviously travelers don't have to fast, but generally in Ramadan, we don't really want to miss it if we don't have to. And let's say you're traveling in the morning, just start traveling and then see how you feel. So that's by 11 o'clock. If you think, you know what, I am traveling, I'm okay, then make an intention to fast. Yeah. So this is a ruling which can come in handy quite a bit. Okay, very easy question. I hope no one gets this wrong. We might have to ask you to leave. Yeah. So question, Ahmed woke up to partake in suhoor. Suhoor is, there's like, however you want to say, sahri, suhoor. Bengalis have their own word, potabala. Yeah. However you want to say it. So Ahmed woke up to partake in suhoor. The actual Arabic term for this is suhoor, by the way. Yeah, best terms to use is the Arabic term, suhoor. However, he forgot to make intention. Will his fast be valid? So he forgot to wake up for suhoor. He basically overslept. No, sorry, he didn't. What am I saying? He woke up for suhoor, but he forgot to make an intention, actively make an intention on fasting. So will his fast be valid? Put your hands up if you know the answer to this. So if someone came up to you and asked you this question, you can confidently, with your chest high, announce this answer after Jummah Salah to the whole congregation. Yeah, put your hands up if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm worried about the rest. 6. Sisters, how many hands are up? MashaAllah. Let's see whether. Okay, so I'm gonna ask the question to those who did not have their hands up. Yeah.
So the whole of the day he never wins. So even up to midday he never wins.
Okay, so let's just put it in context. Ahmed is just a random Ahmed from the community. Yeah. So he has no idea about masail and things. Yeah. So he has no idea. He's just a normal person. So imagine just a random person coming up to you. Yeah. He hasn't joined this Fiqh class. Yeah. And this is what he's telling you.
The reason I'm not sure is because his intention is to wake up, to eat, to fast. So that's, you know what I mean? So is that intention in itself?
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm not sure.
I think it's his lawyer there. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's valid. And for all of you associated with Ramadan, and that is one of the I guess steps that you should want to take anyway. But so the fact that he's woken up, he hasn't made that intention, that isn't validated.
The question's wrong.
His intention is to eat rather than to fast, isn't it?
No, that's part of Ramadan, right?
Yeah.
Because I think waking up sort of is important, right? Because you've got to fulfill the whole spiritual journey to go for it, and it's sunnah as well to wake up and eat. The fact that he's done that, his intention may be there, but maybe mentally he hasn't made that intention. That doesn't mean it's invalid.
Yeah.
For me, it's valid.
Okay. I would say he has his intention. I would say he has mentally made the intention. He just doesn't know what an intention is. Yeah. So let's say, do people generally wake up for suhoor just for the sake of eating? Any of you guys? Okay. So why did he wake up for suhoor? Because he wants to fast the next day. Yeah. So him waking up for suhoor is the intention to fast. Yeah. So I would say, yes, he's made the intention. He's put his alarm on to wake up for suhoor, and he's actually woken up for suhoor. That's his intention. Yeah. So now the fact that he's probably thinking, you know what, I didn't physically say I'm fasting the next day, but is that necessary? No, that's just articulating your intention, but it's not necessary to articulate your intention. Yeah. So there's a common misconception people have. Yeah. I've had so many phone calls. I didn't make intention. We're fast valid today. Yeah. Okay. Is everyone confident with the answer now? Okay. Yes, it will suffice as an intention. Similarly, performing Tarawih Salah will also serve as intention. Okay, so even when you pray your Tarawih, just when you're in the vibe of Ramadan, you know that you're fasting the next day. It's, yeah. Okay, these are mustahabs. I'm going to skip these for now and go, because the most important part is the things that break the fast. So we have the mustahab, which is the recommended acts in fasting. We have the makruh, those things which make your fast disliked. So for them, they're quite simple and they don't need much brain power. So the thing that needs the most brain power is the invalidators, those things that break the fast, the kafara, and so on. So as our brains are fresh, this is what we're going to go over, inshallah. Okay. So what we're going to go over first, I'm going to skip these slides for the time being. And I'm going to go into this document. Does anyone have a sheet of paper? Adam? Actually, one second. Zulfa, can you print me out a few more sheets? Oh, okay, just give me those two then. Just slide them through. Please pass them down. Okay, so I remember that I was teaching this last night, so I quickly put 5 principles of fasting. Now, all the questions, every Ramadan, the reason I'm doing this because every Ramadan I get asked the most simplest questions. Yeah, it's like someone coming up to me and asking me, Sheikh, what's 2 + 2? I'm really confused. Yeah, and I calm the person down. Brother, the answer is 4. Oh, mashallah, you know so much. Yeah, these are conversations I have coming up to Ramadan and in Ramadan, almost every other day. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, mashallah, yes, I know so much. 2 + 2 is 4. Yeah. So it's because we haven't studied this. Anything that you haven't studied, you're not going to know the answers to, regardless of how basic they are. So now what I've done is I've compiled 5 principles regarding fasting. If you understand these 5 principles, you will be able to answer 99.9% of questions related to fasting, whether that's related to yourself, your parents, your family members, children, and so on. So if you understand these principles I've written down in the sheet, you'll basically become the masters of it, inshallah, at least in Ramadan, yeah, to do with the fasting. Okay, so now let's understand this. So let me, for the online guys over here. Okay. So when does the fast break? So I'm going to read this. So now when a substance with a perceptible body. So what I mean, a substance you can physically see, because there's substance that there's particles all around us, isn't it? Right now, there's particles all around, but we can't see them. So by inhaling these particles, will our fast break? No, like oxygen, it exists, these are particles, but it's not going to break my fast because I can't see these particles. So if someone has a pen or a pencil, what I'd underline is perceptible